Well, I mean, that I think is, yeah, I mean, this is largely the angle where I came into the whole issue of combating creationism, is that if you're actually doing research and discovering the unknown, that's all very good and well, but if while you're doing it you negate the education of the populace, and the religious nutters get into power and burn down all the libraries, then all of that work that you put into discovering the unknown is lost. And it's a sort of corrosive element, that if the creationists and the pseudoscientists are actually as corrosive to the education system, and if the effect of that corrosion equals or surpasses the rate that you're gaining knowledge through research, then you're essentially going to be in a stagnant civilization. You can't really progress.
Yes, all you can do is try, and it's encouraging what happens if you meet educated people. They tend not to be creationists, and so
yes, pretty good correlation.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes. If we all, I was thinking only the other day, when people are now talking about drugs that boost intelligence. If everybody took a drug that boosted their intelligence 5 points,
Yes.
would religion survive?
That's an interesting question. And maybe one that would shed some light on if there is genuinely a genetic component to religion.
Well, remember, a genetic component doesn't mean you can't change it.
Yes. I mean, the way I would maybe look at it is religion is more akin to responding to authority figures in the Milgram sense, that this is something that is, there is either a strong social element to it or there is maybe a genetic component to it, with both religion and the desire to obey authority figures.
I bet there's a genetic component in both. There is a genetic component in almost everything. But that doesn't mean you can't reverse it. It doesn't mean you can't change it.
And just like the Milgram effect, there's a good reason why it's there. This is also a hazard in a mechanized society. You can't really... Ignorance becomes disproportionately more dangerous to you in a society where you have a thousandfold increase in your ability to kill people.
Oh yeah, it's very important.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it is probably underestimated the need to actually educate people. I mean, doing the research is great, but you lose the battle if you don't have the basement level to found it on.
I think it's immensely important. I mean, I think that, as you rightly say, the danger increases all the time because the technology becomes cheaper and easier to get hold of. It's pretty bad already, but think in another 50 years' time, when goodness knows, nuclear bombs might become easy to make, cheap to make, or biological warfare, or computer warfare.
Computer warfare, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess to counter that with a chirpy note, one of the interesting things about religions is they tend to be in small groups, polarized groups. Cults are an extreme example of this. The internet, which is one of the things that has really changed the dynamics of our society over an incredibly short period of time, they do very badly. On the internet, everyone can scrutinize your ideas.
Yes.
And there has been a real shift, I think, particularly over the last few years. And now the anti-science lot, they get a fair hammering on the web.
I'm glad you think that. I mean, I dare to take encouragement from the internet.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether it's just that I'm reading. I think sure we all tend to read people we tend to agree with.
Now, let me just give you a sort of straw poll. You know PC Mars, yeah?
Yes.
You just take the number of comments that he gets in a simple post, I don't know, maybe a couple of hundred or something. You then go to the intelligent design blog, say I'm Consent or something. They get a couple of posts on it. Then
well, that's right, and that really is that grounds for encouragement. I mean, I just wondered if I'm looking at the wrong ones. I mean, I read Pharyngula and get enormous encouragement from it because one sort of feels, well, if everybody's like this, we're home and dry.
Yeah.
But I kind of imagine there probably are sort of anti-Pharyngula sites which get the same.
Well, yeah.
And let's hope they're not.
I mean, if you like, the internet is an interesting one because I think it disproportionately favours the rationalists, so to speak. Because if you're like a rationalist anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So you can be a minority everywhere in the world.
Yes.
But a majority on the internet.
That's true, because as you say, a rationalist is a rationalist everywhere. Religious people are different everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the reasons why they're getting progressively hammered. But, likewise, the internet does provide fringe nutters to get together. Although, I think in social terms, they don't do as well out of it as the rationalists, because for the large part, these rather obscure religions, they need the group, they need the social pressure of being in a group to actually keep the whole thing stable. You take them out of that group, and I think they're far more likely to question their religion.
Mm-hmm. Well, this could be very encouraging. I mean, whenever I grasp at the straws of encouragement, the internet is one of the things that I grasp at.
Yeah.
And I seem to get encouragement by reading. Sometimes they're rather sort of irresponsible, juvenile things that get said, but there does seem to be a predominance of. Well, put it this way: if you browse the internet, particularly American sites, you don't get the feeling that America is a country of religious maniacs, which you do get if you think about people who vote for Bush and Sarah Palin.
Yeah, I mean that for me was almost a wail of despair when someone like Sarah Palin could get, as the phrase went, 172 years heartbeat away from the presidency. And there's all these stories that you hear that you didn't know whether South Africa was a country or a state.
Yeah, well, Africa indeed. Africa was yes. There are sort of contradictions in the indications that one gets by sticking one's finger up and sort of trying to gauge the direction of the wind are contradictory.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very difficult to get a good feel of what's going on the web.
Yes.
My general observation over the last... When I first started on YouTube, I mean, one of the main reasons is there were so many creations there, and they seemed to do so comparatively well.
Yes.
But that's changed order of magnitude. They were maybe 50-50 to begin with. Now they're outnumbered 10 to 1.
Well, I hope you're right.
And they're outnumbered not just 10 to 1, they're outnumbered 10 to 1 by good people.
Yes. I really hope you're right.
People.
Yeah, I really hope you're right. That's right. Yeah.
So, maybe on that
cheerful
note, we should
call
it
very much.
quits. Thank you, sir.